are with me. I don't want you to be looking at other women.
Hey Fanatics, remember that infamous Oscar slap? Yeah, it turns out there were other reasons behind Will Smith smacking the life out of Chris Rock that night. Now, what I'm about to tell you is really twisted, so I'd be damned if you're not shocked by the end of this video. Jada Pinkett Smith just revealed that she's actually been separated from Will for over 7 years now.
And Will decided that you were going to live completely separate lives. Yes.
Which is honestly a shocker, given how protective Will got of her just last year at the Oscars. Apparently, it's been a whopping 7 years since they've been living their own separate lives completely detached from each other. They've also been seeing other people. And speaking of other people, this is where it gets interesting. Chris Rock happened to be one of these other people. Yep, Jada revealed that back in 2016, when there were rumors flying around about her and Will's divorce, Chris decided to shoot his shot and asked her out. He called her and went, "I'd love to take you out." And while we're not sure what happened from that point onward, we do know one thing. Will found out all about it. Cause that slap was personal. Think about it. Will became crazy at the Oscars over a silly little joke Chris made about his wife's bald head. Now remember, this is the same wife he hasn't shared a bed with in 7 years. So what triggered him so bad? Welcome to Fame Fanatics! Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for all the latest celebrity news. Let me tell you something, Will Smith is a jealous guy. Back in 1998, there was a bit of a Hollywood drama involving him and his wife. He was working on a romantic comedy alongside Jada and her co-star Tommy Davidson, and Tommy and Jada hit it off big time. They were having deep chats and all. So when Tommy didn't like the movie's ending, he proposed a new one while chatting with Jada over the phone. It was about them dancing during the credits, and everyone loved the idea. But here's the twist. Tommy forgot to mention that he also wanted a kiss in the movie. He didn't know you had to rehearse that sort of thing. So during filming, he went in for the kiss and Jada pulled back. Whoops.
Me and Jada were supposed to kiss in the scene, but we never rehearsed it. So the producers were like, "Hey man, this is the last scene, we gotta get it done."
Cue Will Smith, who was engaged to Jada at the time. He barged into Tommy's trailer after the scene, all steamed up, and things got tense real fast. Tommy thought it might come to blows, and he was right. Will was about to throw hands. Anyway, thank goodness for Jada, who showed up too and calmed things down.
What's up with that, man? You know, saying Will big, man. You know, Will was like,
he is big and muscular.
Hey, Will big. He's like, we need to talk about that. Talk about that, like that. So I said, okay, let's go outside and talk about it. And Jada was like, nah, y'all don't go in all that. No.
She and Will were just about to get hitched, and she's known as Jada Pinkett Smith in the film credits. Now that tells you a little something about Will, doesn't it? He's definitely the protective, jealous kind. So obviously, he couldn't stand Chris Rock either, especially considering what had happened between that guy and his wife. That's not all though, it gets crazier. Take a look at the timelines. 7 years ago, Chris asked Jada out, right? And when did Will and Jada separate? According to her interview, that was exactly 7 years ago as well. Bingo. There's definitely something there, and it's not small. Chris Rock has a different story though. In a recent Netflix performance, Chris has made some surprising claims about the feud between him and Will Smith, which came to public attention during the infamous Oscar slap incident in 2022. While it appeared that Smith's slap was a response to Rock's joke about Jada's hair, Rock suggests that the tension dates back to 2016, following Smith's role in the film Concussion. The anticipation was high that Smith would receive an Oscar nomination for his performance in the movie. When he wasn't nominated, Rock believes Jada expressed her disappointment by taking it out on him. Rock stated during his live set, "Years ago, his wife said I should quit the Oscars because her man didn't get nominated for Concussion, and then he gives me an effing concussion." According to Rock, Jada advised him to quit hosting the Oscars because Will didn't get the nomination, but he chose to go ahead and host the event anyway.
A fucking grown-ass man should quit his job because her husband didn't get nominated for Concussion. And then this nigga gives me a concussion.
During the Oscars in the previous year, he made the controversial comparison of Jada's shaved head to G.I. Jane. In the wake of the infamous slap, Smith confronted Rock on stage, telling him to keep his wife's name out of his mouth. In the Netflix special, Rock claims that last year's incident was a result of Jada's alleged request regarding his involvement in the Oscars, insisting, "She starts it, I finish it. That's what happened. Nobody's picking on her. She started this shit." Rock addressed the slap towards the end of his performance, acknowledging that people know what happened to him and humorously added, "I got smacked at the effing Oscars by this mother F." He went on to say, "People are like, did it hurt? It still hurts. I got summertime ringing in my ears." Despite the incident, Rock made it clear that he doesn't consider himself a victim and wouldn't appear on a talk show crying. He even humorously compared himself to Manny Pacquiao, suggesting he took the hit like a champion. Rock added some comedic elements to the situation, noting that Will Smith is much larger than him and even joked about their different physiques. Now, Will Smith has also opened up about his marriage with Jada, and it's pretty complicated. The Hollywood couple, married in 1997 with 2 children, Jaden and Willow, faced public scrutiny in July of 2021 after discussing rumors of infidelity during their marriage on Jada's talk show Red Table Talk. In a candid interview with GQ as their cover star, the 53-year-old actor delved into last year's discussion and provided more insights into their non-monogamous marriage. In the conversation, Will confirmed that he and Jada have mutually agreed to engage in sexual relationships outside of their marriage. While some may have thought from the Red Table Talk discussion that Jada was the only one involved in such relationships, Will clarified this was not the case. He didn't go into detail about his experiences outside of the marriage, but did express that he had wrestled with feelings of guilt regarding infidelity influenced by his Christian upbringing. Will explained that he had sought the guidance of an intimacy coach to process his thoughts, including the idea of having multiple girlfriends, even among A-listers like Misty Copeland and Halle Berry, while being married. He realized that this fantasy of having many partners was impractical and ultimately horrific. The coaching helped him come to terms with his own thoughts, which he had perceived as sinful due to his Christian upbringing, even if he didn't act on them. He learned that thinking someone like Halle Berry is attractive doesn't make him a bad person. Will also highlighted the contrast in their upbringings. While he had a religious upbringing, Jada had been raised in a more unconventional environment and didn't believe in conventional marriage. Their conversations about what constitutes a perfect relationship were ongoing, and for much of their relationship, they had chosen monogamy, but not as the only form of ideal relationships. They granted each other trust and freedom, believing that everyone has to find their own path. Their approach to marriage is not for everyone, but they value the freedom and unconditional support they offer one another as the highest form of love. Will also shared that they had endured intense arguments for years, with a breaking point occurring around Jada's 40th birthday in 2011.
Birthday party was the final moment when you said you were no longer gonna be in a relationship where you were trying to make her happy.
A fight between the two ensued that night, witnessed by their 10-year-old daughter Willow, and it became apparent that their marriage was no longer working. They could no longer pretend to be happy, and they were both miserable, which prompted the need for a significant change. And after that, of course, they started seeing other people, which did not help them because they ended up seeking separation from each other. Now, Jada is facing some serious backlash and accusations of being a narcissist for her recent revelation that she and Will have been separated for the last 7 years. She shared this news in interviews just days before her tell-all memoir Worthy is set to be released. Her admission that she and Will were exhausted with trying to mend their marriage by 2016 has led to criticism from fans. Many believe she is not being truthful, with some accusing her of using her estranged husband for publicity. Social media has been flooded with skepticism about the validity of her claims. People have questioned the timing of her confession, especially in light of her affair with singer August Alsina, which began in the same year she says she and Will separated. Fans on social media have also expressed their doubts about Jada's honesty, with some calling her a liar and suggesting she's trying to protect her own reputation while undermining her husband. Others have criticized her for publicly humiliating and embarrassing Will. Some have even accused her of seeking attention and using Will for clout. Jada herself has revealed that she and Will are still figuring out the future of their marriage, but many find it difficult to reconcile her recent revelations with the image of their marriage they had portrayed in the past. She's also opened up about her struggles with depression and despair, which began around the time of her 40th birthday. Despite having a seemingly perfect life, she had been battling overwhelming feelings of sadness and hopelessness. Do you think Jada is the bad person in all this? Drop your thoughts in the comments and we'll catch you in the next video.